Hello, everyone. Welcome to Relaxing with Nate. It's been a long time since we did the last update. I'm here to talk about what. Well, first of all, let me introduce my guest here, Brink.
Hello.
He's a renowned gaming scholar and head of the podcast called Brink of Destruction. So he's going to help me with our topic today, which is the lore of one of the most incredible modern games ever to exist. Endless War 1, 2, and 3. They lose it after that. But
Those don't exist. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I think we try to forget those from the series. You know, they were such an artistic movement that we really need to remember that. So let's go over the lore. So Endless 1, 2, and 3. Endless War 1, I think we should talk a bit about that first. So just to summarize, for those of you who haven't played it in the last week, we start with the United States perspective of World War II. We have classic episodes. You have D-Day, Normandy, close combat, heavy fire, and the base. These are like a classic setup for the Endless War format.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't go too in-depth. It's something that's already happened, but it does a nice job of opening the stage.
Yeah, and this is next we go into the Red Army and German perspective of World War II. Really, the Endless War Trilogy really gives different perspectives on every side, which is something I think is really beautiful about it. There's kind of an equalizing effect there, you know. Did you have a favorite of these three?
Oh, well, I'm an American, so obviously the German one was my favorite.
I actually am also a big fan. I think the Stalingrad Nightmare episode really gets to you.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's really like chills down my back every time.
You really got to sympathize with those Germans in Stalingrad.
Definitely. The United States-Vietnam War, where you play the United States soldiers and the Viet Cong. Again, really intense. I mean, the first episode of the United States one is for freedom and democracy. We keep going. I think it really outlines the actual United States war in Vietnam. It starts with for freedom and democracy, and already as you're going through the episodes, you have red alert, trapped in the corner, panic, platoon, enemy inside. It's a deep dive on this intense war.
It is. You got to find the deeper meaning within it to really understand the story of this.
I think so. And same with the Viet Cong story. Homeland, bloody diplomacy, one shot dead, slaughter, friendly fire, frontline assault, jet madness. It really reminds you of the realness of war.
Yes, totally. That whole 60s era, jet madness, throw back to the Vietnam War.
Yes. How do you feel about how Endless War 1 sets up?
That's a good job.
You talk a lot about this in your podcast.
Oh, of course. That Endless War is my specialty.
Yes.
But, I mean, it does a good job of setting it up, gets you the game mechanics, but also tells you this history of these wars that I've already fought. But it goes more in depth than any documentary I've ever seen.
It's really intense with the characters. We'll save that for another video where we go in depth on each mission. Of course, you guys can check out my Let's Play, where I've done various runs. The pistols only run, grenades only, knives only.
I mean, he's cheating when he uses a knife, but
well, we have a contention about knives in this game. They're not as strong. The last update really nerfed knives.
Yes.
So now this, of course, Endless War 1 always takes place in our reality. So it's Endless War 2 where things start getting strange. Should we jump from the 60s to come out modern day with counter-terror campaign and the terrorists campaign? Once again, showing both sides. I'm really reminded of episode 8, Freeway, in the terrorist campaign, where you already start to see that they're taking a little bit of strangeness with the reality because these bikers they launch rockets, which is quite unrealistic.
Yes, and they also have 6 high-explosive grenades. So it really sets up the stage of this alternate world where everybody has military-grade weapons.
Now, here's where we start getting into the real theoretics of the lore of the Endless War Trilogy. So, in the post-nuclear now, the first two are in the modern age. We're still in our reality. Counter-terror and the terrorist campaign. From this on, the Endless War series branches, and there's many different theories. Now, you brought up the Hitman activates a nuke theory, but before I explain that, just after the terrorist campaign in Endless War 2, there's the post-nuclear campaign and the bloody campaign. Now, we can talk about the different factions, but you had a theory about the Hitman, which I really liked.
Yes, the Hitman at the end, as you kill the SWAT officer, you also get codes to a nuclear reaction and nuclear bombs. And as you do, you actually set off a chain reaction as you nuke Russia, which in turn nukes the rest of the world. And we get into the post-nuclear campaign, which actually splits off and is a separate reality than the bloody campaign, which follows it.
Yes, I definitely like that. I don't know if it was that or a separate event. Now, the post-nuclear campaign takes place in the Fallout universe, which I thought was a really bold choice. I'm just taking a very well-known enterprise and just going right into it. Now we can talk a bit about the different factions. So the Bloody campaign is the first time we introduce a non-human. We introduced it a bit in the Fallout campaign, but since that's a separate universe, I don't know if I want to go into that. Maybe we can talk about that more later.
And the mutants are technically still human.
Yes, that's true. That's a good point. In the Bloody campaign, we were introduced to the first alternate reality, the demonic reality. We see cultists who worship that reality. We see zombies. And in episode 3, we actually see what the person mistakes as a demon. Or actually, that's an interesting point, because later on, the aliens do ally with demons. So it's either a demon or an alien, and you fight wraiths, zombies, and cultists. In this one, you are fighting in churches. I think that's a huge point, whether that is a demon. It's called a demon by the character, but I don't know if that's a demon or an alien.
Yes, but he might not understand what he's fighting at the time, because he's in this wood, and he doesn't know that the aliens could have come down and teamed up with the zombies and the demons and the cultists.
That's true. And I also want to mention Bloody Campaign, in my opinion, it's 4 episodes. These are perfect chapters where it really tests the snapping, grenade timing, flare gun timing. It's a very, very good level.
And it goes so in depth with the storytelling. It just attacks you from a psychological standpoint, too.
Yeah, I really think so. Like, listen to the first description of Graveyard. I live again. Zombies want me to be dead forever, and I've got an old fork as my only weapon. But I still have some frag grenades. Like, it instills this energy and, like, resistance into this character. I was always really impressed with that. And yeah, in episode 3, Demon Hunter, he says this about the demon. That creature from hell looks rather dangerous. Too bad for him. I'm dangerous too. So I love this Demon Hunter vibe that we're getting from this guy, but he does think this is a demon. Any thoughts on that, Brink?
Well, he could be right, because we never go that in depth in what it actually is, but we do play as him in the third Endless War, and we are told it's an alien. But who knows?
So you think that's the main character in the third Endless War game? Is he like a demon hunter who takes both sides? Does he basically has this stripped him of his humanity, and he's like a reality jumping maniac who is working for anyone who can pay him?
I don't know if it's anybody who can pay him. He just might be so warped that he's just in it for the bloodshed now.
I really like that idea. It's a really shame we don't get this, but I think we can call him Demon Hunter, because that is what he becomes. So now we move into Endless War 3, which was at one point subtitled Fractured Realities, because you find many different timelines. First you find the Iraq War as both the United States and the Iraqi military. Then you go back to World War II in the Pacific Ocean campaign, fighting as the Japanese and the Americans. This does fit the Demon Hunter theory, where he is really literally traveling through time and space to fight for different sides just for the bloodshed. Then there's the I think one of the most well-crafted campaigns, World War III, Humans and Mutants. Very intense level design. You have incredible weapons like the Gauss rifle and the Splitter rifle, which I really want to talk about. But first thoughts on Endless War Part 3 of the trilogy.
Well, I really like the throwback to doing actual wars of Iraq and the Pacific War, and I like how he's jumping around dimensions. Now, the human campaign is my personal favorite because, human pride. But honestly, the mutant campaign takes the story loving and the lore to such a great heights. Once we really get into that, when you understand the aliens and the demons in much more depth.
I definitely think so. So this is an interesting level. So if you notice, in episode 3, Backstab, you are the rank Death Commander in the mutant army. Now, you are actually a Wraith. You are one of the Wraiths from the Bloody Campaign, but it is titled Death Commander. Is it possible that the demons and the aliens are the same campaign, are the same group? Because this would argue that.
I think they definitely team up, because in the human campaign, I believe the last episode, it mentions how the aliens and demons have opened a portal to hell.
Yes, actually, I have it right here. Episode 6 of the World War III Humans campaign, End of All Life. You are an SAS officer, and the description is, demons and aliens have opened a portal which leads directly to hell. Defeat them before they summon Diablo. Now, that's another interesting thing. Now, my Spanish isn't incredible, but that is Spanish for devil. Now, is by defeating the final episode, is this the Demon Hunter trying to stop the only demon he can't kill, the devil himself?
It's interesting, because that is a good take on it, but he could also have been the devil that we have to stop. Because he does team up with the mutants in the next one.
Maybe at this level, he stops them and realizes his mistake, and he teams up. He goes to the mutants, and he becomes, because he is an alien in this part. You do become an alien, so maybe as he defeats the portal to hell, the last act is to enter it, come out the other side, fighting as the devil. He is Diablo.
Yes,
he
it's really
becomes Diablo. This is incredible. This is incredible.
It really is. The lore on this is insane.
Yes, I definitely agree with you. And the final episode is Land of the Alive, rank alien fiend. So he does become, and he becomes the alien. He becomes the alien from the end of the Bloody campaign, which I think is the only 2 times you see it, at the end of the Bloody campaign and at the end of the Mutant campaign. That is the devil. He kills the devil and becomes the devil.
It is incredibly storytelling right there. I mean, it's blown our way to go back to your roots and drive from that.
So yeah, Endless War 1, the prequel that sets up this world of conflict and destruction. Endless War 2, which starts out with the counter-terrorist and terrorist campaigns. The world fractures off into the post-nuclear campaign, and we are introduced to our protagonist. Is it? No, I don't think so. I was going to suggest it was possible that he is introduced earlier in the counter-terrorist and terrorist campaigns, but I don't think so. It doesn't make sense, and also in the post-nuclear campaign, you play as mutants and humans.
No, that's out there theories, Wyatt theories, fanatics.
I think he's introduced in the Bloody campaign and is the main character for all of Endless War 3. It's such a shame they do not give you a name.
Well, I think that take away from his character. He is the demon hunter. And having a name would just take away from his job, because his job is his name.
Would you mind if we went through his log entries for Bloody campaign? Because that's where he's the most personal. I live again. Zombies wanted me to be dead forever. And I've got an old fork as my only weapon. He's referring to a pitchfork in his local slang. But I still have some frag grenades. Okay, so pretty basic. He's trying to fend off for his life. For the Bloody campaign Cathedral level, part 2. It's time to meet their leader and seek revenge. He's already very bloodthirsty. Very focused on murder.
Well, it did say in the first one he lives again, so it's possible that he's come from the afterlife.
I live again. That's a really good point. This could open up a whole new point of lore for this game. So, was he a character in... Maybe, if we went through these, would he be a character in one of the past campaigns? Maybe could he have been set up in the prequels? Maybe let's continue reading his logs. We might find some key to which war, because he could have been the counter-terrorist, terrorist, post-nuclear, or any of the 4 prequels.
Well, what's interesting is, at the end of the terrorist one, it's theorized that you nuked the world. And in the split, and when it splits off into the 2 campaigns, the Bloody and the post-nuclear one, he could have died from the initial nuclear explosion, only to be brought into a world of zombies.
Okay. I want to go through that. But let's continue with the Bloody campaign, because I think I have a theory about how this Hitman thing is going. So episode 3, that creature from hell looks rather dangerous. Too bad for him, I'm dangerous too. This makes sense if he already thinks he's so dangerous. The Hitman theory really works. 4, at last, all that beast shall die. I'll burn him to the ground. Ha 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 ha. So he's clearly already gone crazy. He's gone crazy. Okay, the terrorist campaign. He starts as the Hitman theory is true. He starts as a drug dealer. He talks about being betrayed by his partners. Now that would already set up a feeling of bitterness and revenge.
Yes, I mean obviously he goes through a whole ordeal and an odyssey almost in the terrorist campaign.
Look, the bad deal. He fails at it. He is then trapped in a train. He runs to the subway with just one ally, and the police attack him, but he refuses to surrender. He goes to the Mafia for help, and SWAT and GSG-9, the German version of SWAT, the SWAT team, come in and invade the cafe. This is an interesting theory. He's being attacked by so many law enforcement. Is it possible that that they knew that he would do this?
That's an out there theory.
It is a bit, but it's not that crazy. The terrorist campaign is one of the longest campaigns in the game.
But it does hold up, because in the Endless War 3, the human campaign, you're trying to stop all of them, and the U.S. Army and all the other armies have an organized front to stop him. So
Well, don't we play as him in the Endless War Human? He's just fighting for them temporarily. They're making use of him to fight the aliens. They know they need the demon.
that is true, but he could be setting up for betray in that one because he does go into hell to confront Diablo.
I have a wild out there theory, a crazy theory that I just noticed. But let's finish this real quick. Through 4, 5, and 6, he's hunted by the government troops. Now, I actually think that the counter-terrorist campaign is the government trying to hunt him down. They're trying to find him. They're killing criminals. They're trying to get to him. And the character you play in the counter-terrorist campaign, let's just say the officer, okay? The officer is trying to hunt down the demon hunter because they have an idea. Here's the thing. When you are in the human campaign, there is one. I'm trying to find the episode right now. There is one episode where among the aliens is a single human. I think that is the officer trying to kill him, and I will show it to you right now. I think this is it.
Oh yes, the human operating the minigun in the tank.
So yeah, I've got the episode. You guys won't be able to see it. I'll try to do a screenshot here. So there's a human operating the tank in this. I think that is the officer who is allied with the aliens, doing anything to kill our hero, the demon hunter, or maybe he's not.
I think it's true because at this point, I think it's more about the hunt for him to stop him than even betraying his own mankind. Basically,
they both lost their sides. While the officer chases the demon hunter chases Diablo, and he will become Diablo. And in this episode, you as the demon hunter, you kill the officer. You have to slay him. There's no possible way to get around him in this episode. You have to kill him to win the game.
Well, there's a way around. If you want to go to my channel, you can see my no-killing run-through.
Now, that blew my mind. I really do suggest you go to Brink's channel, YouTube/Brink of Destruction. And check out his podcast. It goes even deeper into the lore of Endless War 1, 2, and 3. And check out our bashing episode of 4 through 12.
I mean, that was your idea. I didn't even want to touch them. It's anarchy. It's heresy, really.
Yes, it really is heresy for this incredible gaming experience. I will put the link for it down below. I just get the family together and sit around a computer screen and just beat Endless War 1, 2, 3. Explain to them the lore, the depth, the storytelling, the humanity that is put into this game about aliens and mutants and monsters and a man so determined to kill the devil that he becomes it. I think that's going to do it for me. Brink, any closing thoughts on this incredible trilogy?
Just like you said, I can't recommend playing it enough. There's hours upon hours of lore, in-depth analysis. The deepening meaning of this game is outstanding.
It really is. Thank you so much for watching. Check out our other lore videos on Endless War 3. Check out all my speedruns. Definitely check out Brink's no killing run, the pacifist run. And as always, I will see you guys later for another Endless War 3 video. Take care.
Bye.